What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay coming back here with another stream. Today we got three stories to go over. Victor's Summer League debut, the Chicago Cubs, and of course, this is going to be day 8 of our 31 days of football with the Los Angeles Chargers. Before we get started, make sure you guys smash that like, that thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications that way you don't miss a stream or content just like this. We really don't do too much baseball. Try to get into it. Some of the audience likes it, some of it doesn't. It's been one of those hit or miss things. But I definitely think we're gonna probably start trying to incorporate some more baseball on the channel for you guys. With that said, quick shout out to the Wrench Gang, shout out to the family, all the listeners and watchers as we go ahead and get to the story. Before we do, the question of the day is Mr. Victor Wembanyama going to be a bust? We'll obviously get to that later, but that is the current question. Obviously, if you catch this after the stream's over, drop it down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Chicago Cubs making history. Obviously, nothing too significant, but it's significant. It's history. It means something, right? You can put it on the wall and write about it. You can get Jay to talk about it, right? I guess that means it's something. With that said, the Chicago Cubs are one of the oldest teams in Major League Baseball. Let me squeeze this over in here. But they accomplished something Friday night that they had never done before. They won a game at Yankee Stadium. Jameson Taillon's Jim paced the Cubs to a 3-0 victory over the Yankees, earning the franchise its first win over the Bronx Bombers in New York. The Cubs entered the game with a 0-12 mark in games played at Yankee Stadium 1 and 2, including a 0-4 mark in the World Series. Interleague play was not introduced until 1997, which limited the team's appearances against each other before then to the World Series, and both of their meetings in the Fall Classic in 1932 and 1938. I'm pretty sure anyone that's listening or watching this stream right now was not around back then. And did the Yankees sweeps. The Cubs didn't play a regular season series in the Bronx at all until 2005. New Year, Cubs outfielder Cody Bellinger, who homered in the game, said on the field afterwards, Taillon was really good today. That was awesome to see. Hey, listen, records are meant to be broken. Records are meant to be hit, made, all that good stuff. So it's good to see something like this happen, especially for baseball. I do feel like people have said that baseball is kind of a dying sport. I don't think so. I think it's going to come back. You've got a couple of the rookies, that Eli kid. You've got, Franco, who obviously was a hot prospect, but he's kind of tapered off. De La Cruz, Alex Verdugo. There's so many different names that you can bring up as far as in baseball that I've even been watching over the years. So, like I said, we'll probably start incorporating some baseball or more baseball content for you guys as far as streams and things like that. We'll see how it goes. Speaking of seeing how things are going. Oh boy, this guy here. It's one of those things where I've got my screen messing up here. 1 second. All right. Speaking of seeing how things are going. Mr. Victor Wembanyama's Summer League debut. I just want to say this. I think the hype was too much. There was way too much pressure put on this young man's shoulders. And here's why. All right. Playing in an overseas league, things are totally different. And for some reason, people don't understand this. If you played basketball or if you've been watching the game for a long time, you have an understanding as far as the NBA in general, overseas leagues, the G League, all that kind of stuff. Then you understand the degree of difficulty it is when you play in the NBA, let alone the Summer League, all right? Obviously, he looked great because of the way that they play over in the EuroLeague. It's a different game over there. So he obviously debuted last night in his first Summer League game after being drafted first round, first pick by the San Antonio Spurs. Now, what happened? Well, before I get into the official story, I do want to say this is a story here by Barstool Sports, who is calling Victor a bust. These are not my words. These are theirs, but we're just going to go ahead and just dissect them and break them down. It says, rest in peace to Victor Wembanyama's career. Spurs' #1 pick is the biggest bust in NBA history after disastrous summer league debut. That's really, really strong words coming from Mr. Matt Fitzgerald, who wrote this article here. Goes on to say thoughts on Victor Wembanyama's summer league debut. Full stats: 9 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, 3 assists. Went 2 for 13 from the field. Hit 1 of 6 3-pointers and played 27 minutes. You know, it's really wild to say that someone's a bust after one specific game. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I went on social media. I was looking at all the highlights and things like that. There was a lot of clips, a lot of highlights of him getting cooked, crossed over, him getting dunked on. Listen, this is a 19-year-old kid, right, who has the world literally sitting on his shoulders. He's talented. He has the height. He understands the game, but there's still going to be a lot of development when it comes to him actually transitioning in the NBA. This is not a telltale sign of what's going to happen in his career. This is a 19-year-old kid who's just learning to actually play at this specific level in the NBA. But we'll keep going. Barstool Sports said it was abominable, embarrassing. Victor Wembanyama was supposed to be the best NBA draft prospect since LeBron James. And after one summer league game, it's clear the French phenom is nowhere near the King's orbit, nor will he ever be. Wembanyama legitimately blows at basketball. You guys think I'm critical and tough? Look at this. Is what Barstool Sports is saying. This is absolutely amazing. Wembanyama shares his thoughts on the summer league debut. We'll go ahead and play the clip.
Yeah, special moment. Really, really special to wear that jersey for the first time. It's really an honor. And overall, I'm glad we won this game. There's no better way to start for a premiere. And honestly, I didn't really know what I was doing on the court tonight, but it's I'm trying to learn for the next games, and the importance to be ready for the season.
Yeah, where's the PR and where's the publicist? Where's all these people that have the conversations and what you should say and what you shouldn't say when there's such high stock in you? I probably wouldn't have went on in front of a panel and told people I really didn't know what I was doing on the court tonight. That's just probably something I would have never said. It's really bad. It's really tough. It really is. And it's so unfortunate because, like I said, there's definitely high hopes. He's a great player from what we've seen in the tapes. He should have the backing. He should have the mentors to basically help him transition over. There is a lot that is obviously going to go into him money-wise, and whether or not he's going to be worth it is going to be dependent on whether or not the Spurs are going to be able to make sure that he's ready to go as the season progresses. Bob says, where is he from? He's from France. Mr. 7'5" Victor Wembanyama is from France. But it goes on to say in the story, makes sense when you're 7'5" and you dance around on the perimeter like a 6'2" guard. Something may be amiss. What are you, bro? Not a center, not strong enough. I mean, to break 11 of your 13 shots from the field against multiple players who'll be lucky to make an NBA roster, what are we even doing here? The scrub competition pretty much negates Wemby's 5 block shots. Those don't mean anything. Just look at what happened to his poor, rail-thin self on this play. Listen, I'll tell you this, Barstool Sports. It's very easy to break somebody down, especially their first real game at an elite level. And I'll tell you why. Obviously, he's not going to be used to that level of play. He still has to adjust to it. He obviously is. I mean, it's sad to say, but yeah, he's going to be nervous. He's not going to really be prepared for the pace because he's coming from a different realm. Is that is an excuse in regards to his talent not being there? Of course not. I mean, we can't make an excuse for talent, right? We did see glimpses of what he can do. We did see glimpses of his game and, whether or not he can, shoot and things like that. So I would say it's there. But, hey, maybe the stars just didn't align for him tonight. Maybe the next Summer League game we see from him, he'll ball out. Maybe I could be wrong, and maybe he could be a bust. But my thing is we probably shouldn't make assumptions based off one specific Summer League game when there's a lot more to be played. So, is Mr. Wembanyama a bust? I would say not yet. Not yet. Let's at least give him a chance, see how he does in the league before we call him a bust this early. So, you know who's not a bust? This guy, Mr. Justin Herbert. And I basically feel that the Los Angeles Chargers going into next season are going to do some wonderful things. Some wonderful things. As we get into day 8 of 31 days of football, we are now on to the Los Angeles Chargers 2023-2024 season. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to dive right in. Obviously, last season, it really wasn't too bad. I mean, Herbert was injured, but he still balled out. He still showed up. He still had grit, heart, determination, something that a lot of those quarterbacks on those teams didn't have last year. And that's why the Chargers were able to make it to the postseason, even though they lost by 1. But, hey, they still made it. Speaking of that specific game, it was a wild-card game. They lost against Jacksonville by 1. 1-point game. Who knows what would have happened if the Chargers would have won that game and moved on. But over into the regular season, obviously they beat the Raiders, lost against the Chiefs, another close game, lost against the Jaguars. In a sense, it would look like the Jaguars had their number, but I just can't say that in a 1-point game, even though they had beat them early in the year 38-10. Herbert and company beat the Texans. They beat the Browns. They beat Denver. Lost to the Seahawks. Beat Falcons. Lost to San Francisco, and what you could say is another close game. Lost to the Chiefs, another close game, 3-point game. Won against the Cardinals, 25-24. Lost against the Raiders. They beat Miami, 23-17. To beat Tennessee, 17-14. Beat the Colts. Beat the Rams. Lost to Denver, which I think, Denver had that little weird thing going where they were like coming close to teams and close to beating them and costing people money on their parlays. But hey, it's another close loss. But that was last year, And moving on to this year, let's look at the schedule. What do we have here? Obviously, they're going to start off week 1 against the Dolphins. Week 2, it's going to be against the Titans. Week 3 against the Vikings. Week 4 against the Raiders. Week 5 is going to be a bye. Week 6 is going to be against the Cowboys. Week 7, Kansas City Chiefs. Week 8 is going to be against the Bears. Week 9, the Jets. Week 10, the Detroit Lions. Week 11, Green Bay. Week 12, Baltimore. Week 13 is going to be Patriots. 14, Broncos. Week 15 is going to be the Raiders. 16 against the Bills, which this game is going to be on Peacock, which I'm probably going to have to get that for you guys. I don't have Peacock. I have everything else but Peacock. More money I got to spend for you guys, but hey, just is what it is. After that, it's going to be Denver, and then, of course, Kansas City again for Week 18. Preseason, they're going to be playing the Rams on Saturday, August 12th, the Saints on August 20th, and then San Francisco August 25th. So that'll be the start of the preseason for those guys. I'm going to be honest. This schedule does look a little rough. It does look a little rough. In the beginning, I do think they may have it okay. Miami's going to be tough. Tennessee, I'll probably give them that one. Minnesota's going to be tough. Raiders, I wouldn't sleep on them. Garoppolo's over there now. He's going to look to he's making a name for himself. He's got the experience to do so. Dallas is going to be tough. Kansas City, definitely going to be tough. Bears, shaky. Jets, toss up. Lions, I think that's definitely going to be a game. Green Bay, they'll probably take that one. Baltimore, it's going to be a good one. Patriots, they'll probably take that one. Denver, I'll give it to the Chargers. The rematch between the Raiders, once again, that's going to be another, who figures who out first, who watches enough tape. Bills, obviously, I'm taking my Bills Mafia. You guys know how that goes. Denver again, and then KC. So, yeah, it's definitely tough. As far as, I would say, midway through. But we'll see if Herbert can pull it off. He did last year, made it to the postseason. I think that he can again, and I'll be looking forward to it. That I will. Shout out to you, Luta. This is not going to say the Cowgirls. You guys are hilarious. I forgot. I thought, Bob, the Barstool still had the same owner. Did he sell? I don't think that changed, right? I don't think it did. I think it's still the same owner. Pretty sure of it. So, yeah. That's going to be it for Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. 3 stories. We knocked that out in about 15 minutes. Nothing too crazy today. I hope you guys have a good Saturday. Tomorrow we're going to be following up. Are they still looking for Scarface? Bob, if you wanna go there, we can definitely go there. We can definitely chop it up. I've seen the memes, I've seen the videos. It's really unfortunate. I can't imagine a time other than now when you would have had these kind of allegations, these kind of stories out there, as my dog barks, out there in regards to the White House and what's going on there. So it's really, really interesting and really, really tough. So we can obviously talk about that at another time. We'll get into it. You know how we do. As for tomorrow, as my dog is speaking to you guys as well. As for tomorrow, we've got the Chiefs. That's going to be a good one. That'll be a great one for Sunday. Got these Kansas City Chiefs to talk about, so that'll be great. Bob says we will never know. Yeah. I feel like if we were to get into that topic, we could definitely go for another 2 hours. But if we're gonna do that, I'd rather make it its own stream. That way we can get everybody here, and because when you title things correctly and you have the right picture, which I would pick a great picture for that one, a ton of people would show up and they'd have a reason to. When we get on the political stuff, people go nuts. So, yeah, we'll have that conversation one of these days. Hey, we'll include it maybe on the next one. Maybe tomorrow. We'll talk about Bob, you already know. It's definitely sad but true. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll do it. I'll include a picture of it'll be just like today. It'd be Hunter, Mahomes, and then whatever other story is viral tomorrow. That's how I'm going to start spinning this whole thing, right? Every day when we go live or we're talking about news, I'm going to make sure that, we include obviously the team that I want to cover that day, some viral news, and then we'll throw in some politics. We'll talk about this stuff. I'll rock with you guys. You guys rock with me. You guys know how I am. I'm willing to talk about whatever and get my point across, and we can have open dialogue and be respectful about it and all that good stuff. So, yeah, we'll make that happen. Shout out to my boy Jericho. Maybe I can get Jericho on it as well, because he definitely had a lot to say about it. And his video is pretty funny, so we'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for Saturday. Hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy the sun if you're not in the sun. enjoy your day. But above all else, be safe out there. It's a crazy world. See you all tomorrow. Peace out.